everyone. My name is Eric Lee, and I'm an academic success coach here at East Stroudsburg University. Today, we'll be talking about skills for lifelong learning. Once you stop learning, you start dying. As students here at East Stroudsburg University, it's important to understand that you will all be lifelong learners, meaning that just simply because you graduate from college doesn't mean that your days of learning are done. We are all works in progress, and we will never be a final product. We will always have more to learn and more to do, whether inside the classroom or outside of the classroom. One of the big factors that will impact our ability to learn is our mindset. We have the opportunity within each of us to either develop a growth mindset or a fixed mindset. A growth mindset will view things such as failure as an opportunity to grow. We will tell ourselves things such as, I can learn to do anything I want. Challenges help me to grow, and my effort and my attitude will always determine my abilities and my outcome and where I go in life. Feedback is constructive and it's not personal, and that we like new challenges. Whenever we operate under a fixed mindset, however, our mind will view failure as a limitation of our abilities, that we either have it or we simply don't, or when we're frustrated, we just simply give up. In short, a fixed mindset often comes along with the lack of wanting to accept responsibility. If we know we have a growth mindset and we have the ability to do better if we continue to work and improve ourselves, then we also know that when we stumble and when we don't succeed, that it's because we have things that we have to change about ourselves and our approach to education, and that we're not allowing outside forces to dictate our future. So a couple of examples really quick. Let's meet John. John is a real person. He was a child prodigy in his sport. He attended private schools at Stanford University. He was playing and competing since the age of 8 years old. By the time he was 20 years old, he had his first major title, and he was the youngest man in his sport to be the winner of a title. He retired ranked number 20th in the world in his sport. He is also known for his belligerence, his temper, and unsportsmanlike behavior. Whenever John lost, he said it was because he had a fever, he had a backache, his opponent was in love and John wasn't, he ate too close to a game, or he was hungry at game time, the cameraman distracted him with noise, and these are actual real examples that this individual gave whenever he did not win a match or a title. Now, conversely, let's meet Michael. Michael played three sports in high school. He was cut from his varsity tryouts his sophomore year. He was not actually recruited by the college that he wanted to go to. He was not a top pick in his draft for his sport. He was not even the second pick in his draft. But eventually he was named the MVP 14 times. He was a six-time champion, two-time Olympic gold medalist, and he was also ranked the number one athlete of the 20th century. He is best known for effectively marketing athletes in his generation, and he is also known for popularizing his sport from around the world. Whenever Michael did lose, and he did, he said it was because he was not mentally prepared or he wasn't physically prepared. In other words, he took responsibility. The two individuals we're talking about are real people, John McEnroe and Michael Jordan. Now, which of those had a growth mindset and which of them had a fixed mindset? Michael Jordan obviously had a growth mindset. He understood that when he failed, he wasn't mentally strong enough, he wasn't physically strong enough, and he had to prepare to be better the next time around so that he could be successful. It's important that we learn from failure. A reporter once asked Thomas Edison, how did it feel to fail 1,000 times? Edison simply replied, I didn't fail 1,000 times. The light bulb was simply invented with 1,000 steps. That's the mindset we have to have when we approach our education. We may not have gotten the grade that we wanted on a midterm, on a quiz, or even at the end of a class. However, that doesn't mean that we are failures and that we have failed and we cannot succeed at college. We have to take a look and be honest with ourselves about where we did not succeed and where we need to improve. And a lot of times that comes from just taking the responsibility of understanding where we can improve and who we are. It also means that we have to take a look at our learning ability and our learning strategies. So, what we like to talk about is metacognitive learning strategies. Metacognition is just a simply fancy word of the way we learn information and how we process it. So, for example, some of us will be auditory learners, meaning we learn better by hearing. Some are more visual learners, meaning we will learn simply by looking and reading. Some of us are combination learners, meaning we learn from both hearing, seeing, and some of us will learn by doing. It's important for you to understand your learning strategy because that's what will impact the ability that you have to retain the information that you need in class and to develop your strategy specifically tailored to you to help you be successful. So, how do we develop these skills? We first have to be honest with what it is we don't know. We have to set specific goals, meaning that our goals have to be ones that are attainable, that are time sensitive, that have benchmarks, and they're also specific and not vague. We have to ask ourselves the good questions about what it is we're learning and why we want to learn it. We have to properly prepare. Properly preparing means that we have enough rest, we have proper nutrition, that we have the materials that we need in order to study. We have to monitor our performance. So, for example, we check our D2L pages often. We review our grades. We review the feedback that our professors give us on the papers and the assignments that we turn in. We also seek out feedback from our instructors and we use it and we don't take it personally. So an example of this would be, for example, I want to get an A on next week's essay exam. So what would I need to do? I have to determine what my goal is and how motivated I am to achieve that goal. Well, my goal is to get an A and I'm highly motivated. Then I have to ask myself, well, what do I honestly know about this topic? We have to assess our knowledge regarding the topic and be honest about what we do know and what we don't know. Then we need to commit the time and energy to making sure that we learn that which we don't know. So we have to take the time to study, but also in studying and preparing, we have to make sure that we have proper rest, proper nutrition, so that our body and minds will physically be able to engage the material that we're trying to learn. Finally, we have to understand what strategies are going to be best for me to be successful on this exam. That means that if it's an essay exam, we have to understand the best way to write out an essay. If it's a multiple choice exam, or if it's true, false, or short answer, all of those different types will require different abilities and different learning strategies for us to be successful on those tests. So it's important to know what type of test do we have to take and the best way to study and prepare for that. Our goal in college is to move from simply remembering and rote memorization of material to then going to understanding the material in depthly, to be able to apply it to our lives and to other lessons, to then be able to analyze, to examine, to investigate. Finally, we want to be able to evaluate and critique what it is we're learning, compare and contrast with other information that we're receiving, and eventually moving on to the point where we are then able to create knowledge ourselves to pass down to others. So, in conclusion, being a lifelong learner is not a stagnant journey. There is no finish line, and it will always take place both inside the classroom and outside. But part of that journey involves us thinking about how we think, how we learn and process information, developing a growth mindset, so that way when we face setbacks, we approach it with a can-do attitude and that we are honest with ourselves so that we don't give up and that we reach to make it outside and to strive higher than we've ever gone before. We also have to be honest and understand that learning is active and it's not passive. We have to engage the material. We have to engage our class. We have to engage our instructors. We have to seek feedback, whether we want to hear it sometimes or not. We also have to find the strategies that will work for us, depending upon the nature of the class, the subject matter, the exam, or the type of test and other ways that we are going to be assessed, and be able to make adjustments to that, depending upon what we're given. We have to learn from failure. Failure is a part of life, but it doesn't have to defeat or beat us. It's the opportunity to come back and to continue to succeed. It's important that we follow our passions and understand what it is we're passionate about. Our passion will oftentimes dictate our steps, our thoughts, our orders, and our actions. Remember, it's okay to take a chance. That's what life is all about. And most importantly, to never give up. Thank you guys. And if you ever need any assistance, Here's my contact information. Once again, my name is Eric Lee. I'm an academic success coach. And if you need to, you can reach out to me by email, and I will be happy to assist you. Thank you so much, and you guys have a great day.